Hey everybody, it's InnoVision, and we've got a quick, short and sweet review of an accessory for the Lenovo Legion Go today. Today we'll be taking a look at this JSAUX controller holder, and what it allows you to do is to take and detach your controllers and install them in the controller holder and use it like a full-size controller, much like you would with the Nintendo Switch. Let's take a look. So before we jump right in, one thing I want to note is for over a year now, hobbyists have been creating 3D printed versions of controller holders. And more recently, Lenovo confirmed that they're going to be making their own first-party supported controller holder. But this one is actually very interesting because one of the first ones that was made by a third-party company. And so while the 3D printed ones, a lot of them look professional and a lot of them are very nice, but I don't have access to a 3D printer. And so I was really looking for something that I can just use right out of the box and didn't have to mess with 3D prints. And so JSAUX, I have a couple other accessories made by them for other handhelds like the Steam Deck, and I was pretty pleased with the quality of their products, so I figured we'd give this a try. So let's just go ahead and open the box and see. I imagine it's going to be pretty simple packaging here. Let's take a look. So there's two variants of this controller holder. There's what they call like a two-piece kit and a three-piece kit. I ordered the three-piece kit, and the two-piece kit actually is a little bit less expensive, and the three-piece kit is maybe like $5 more expensive. You can order these directly from their website, and the difference between the three-piece kit versus the two-piece kit is I think the three-piece kit comes with this exterior rubber grip that goes around it. I'd have to double check. It also comes with a holder for the controller if you want to use it in FPS mode. I don't really play in that mode too much. And obviously it comes with the two attachments. And so this is how you would normally have one controller here, one here. They'd be attached, and then the grip just kind of gives it a nice finished feeling. So I went ahead and ordered the kit that came with everything in it. Like I said, they do have it. JSAUX has this on their website. You can order it there. It's a little bit less expensive if you order from their website, but you're going to be paying for shipping. And so I ordered it from their store on Amazon. I think it all comes out to be about the same in the end anyways, but here we go. Let's take a look. Just popping the controllers off. This is pretty nice. I've got my Legion Go hooked up on my official dock. And so, you can separate these out. But I'm just going to leave it like this. Now, one thing I'm noticing right away, it doesn't give you that satisfying snap as it does when you attach it into the console itself. That one did. This one didn't give me a snap. Let's see if we can get it to work out. I like to hear that snap. It's satisfying. There we go. I got it that time. Oh, I see. So then you can just put this in here almost like a cradle. I don't know if I necessarily need the rubberized grip, but there we go. So now we've got our controller holder all set up with the kind of rubberized plastic grip on the outside. It feels pretty solid, honestly. We'll give more of our thoughts by the end of the video. But for right now, I'm really excited to just give this a try. Let's try playing a game. I'm going to pick a game that's a little bit challenging that you will want a good controller for. The first thing that comes to mind is Elden Ring. That game's challenging, and having a good controller makes all the difference in the world. And on top of that, we're getting close to Halloween, so seeing something kind of spooky, seeing some pop outs, so let's check out a game. You might be trying to figure out what my toy of the day is. This toy is intended for 17 and older because it's from an R-rated movie. It's scary. So if you're a child, a kid, do not watch this part of the video. What we have right here is the nun from the Conjuring Universe. Now this is one creepy toy. I mean, I don't know how many of you have seen the Conjuring movies or anything from the Conjuring universe, but the first movie is downright scary. Like when I watched the first Conjuring movie, it gave me chills. And I still think about it till today. And so we figured we'd do something a little spooky or scary for Halloween. Alright. We'll be right back once we get it out of the box. Now, the Conjuring movie, in my mind, is up there with The Exorcist. It is equally creepy, especially the first movie. You know, by the time they got to the Nun movie, it's like, you know, they've kind of stretched the series out for a long time, but this character's in the very first one. If you haven't seen the movie and you're a fan of horror flicks, definitely check it out. It's worth it, especially the first two Conjuring movies. So Ed and Lorraine are paranormal activity kind of hunters. They actually go and exorcise demons and clean bad spirits out of houses and things like that for people. And so this nun is actually trying to take out one of the characters in the movie. And so this is a creepy character. To be quite honest with you, as soon as Halloween passed, as soon as this video's over, I'm putting this mofo right back in the box. I don't want to see it again until next Halloween. This is a creepy one. I'm going to upload some high resolution pictures so you can be creeped out as well. Alright, so we got everything all hooked up and we're about to launch Elden Ring. And one thing I noticed right away is that, you know, the width, you know, between the left side and the right side of the controller, it's a little bit narrower. I guess that's to be expected, you know, because it's not a full-size controller. You know, we're taking two controller halves and smearing them together. One thing I would like to see, one that might be a little bit more ergonomic, is if it was a little bit wider out. And I think the official Lenovo one's going to be a little bit wider out. And I think even some of the 3D printed ones kind of put the two controllers at an angle, almost like a upside down V shape. But here we go, we're in our game, we're running in performance mode, and it feels pretty good, you know. I mean, it feels as good as the Legion Go's controllers already feel. We're running in this area where there's a lot of scarlet rot that can kill your character, and there's some guys that do bleed damage as well. Alright, here we go. So there's another thing I noticed here on the rubberized grip. The L and R buttons, the shoulder buttons, they're covered by the grip, so it's not as satisfying to press. So right away, my thoughts are this kit was $5 more expensive than the less expensive kit. I think I would have been better off not getting the rubberized bumper, because I didn't realize this at the time we acquired it, but it does cover your left and right bumpers. So I like to feel the button click, and it feels very dampened. But overall, I think it feels pretty good. I'm actually about to pop it out of the rubberized grip just to get a feel for how it plays. I think $20 for the kit that doesn't come with the rubber bumper is actually a very reasonable price. So let's take it out and see how it goes. Oh yeah, so these do come apart as well. So that it's got these two parts sticking out, and then it's got two grooves inside, and it's magnetized. So once you get them close to each other, they'll try to connect like that. It actually feels pretty good. That's actually neat. So yeah, this actually feels a lot better without this rubberized grip installed. Yeah, you just feel the natural feel of the Legion Go controllers. My only complaint is how close the controllers are to one another. If it was like this far apart, it'd feel a lot more natural, I think. That click is satisfying. Very cool. I think I would have to give this accessory, so given that the price is not terribly expensive, if I got just the version that didn't come with this, I would say it could get 4 out of 5 stars. Maybe 3.75 out of 5 stars. If it were spaced out right here, it'd easily be like 4.5 out of 5 stars. So I don't know, somewhere between 3.75 or 4 out of 5 stars. It's kind of hard. I'll have to think about it a little bit more because, you know, it wasn't terribly expensive. You can't buy too many things for 20 bucks these days. Like, even if you go buy one person a meal at a restaurant, fast food, you're talking about like at least 10, 12 bucks. So that's not terrible. But also too, it's just a few pieces of plastic. I think if I had a 3D printer, I'd much rather play with the designs that people have. But if you're looking for something that's just ready to use right out of the box, I would say I could recommend this. You know, this thing's actually growing on me. I think initially I was taken back by the fact that I paid more money for the version that came with the rubber grip, which is actually not very necessary. But this standalone version of the controller holder is much nicer. I mean, look, it's so small. It can fit in your bag if you're traveling somewhere. I love that it's detachable and magnetized. And so this is growing on me. I would say that this is actually, this by itself right here is worth 4 out of 5 stars. I think 20 bucks for this is quite reasonable. You know, it's not, you know, you're not getting some like huge amount of quantity of something that, you know, your purchase is going towards, but it's functional. It's highly functional. It definitely makes playing a game like Elden Ring a lot more accessible, especially on a device like the Legion Go that's a little bit heavier if you want to put it down. You know, nothing's ever stopped me before from just, you know, using my controllers like this. But at the same time, it's nice to have it all be, you know, in one kind of cohesive package. And you know, I have to hand it to them. It took Lenovo more than a year to even say that they're going to be working on their own first-party supported controller holder. So you have to take your hats off to companies like JSAUX that actually start doing this. You have to take your hats off to the modding community that made the 3D printed versions of these controller holders, because if the modders didn't make their controller holders, if JSAUX didn't make it, who knows if Lenovo was planning on something. So they might have just seen that there's a market for this kind of thing and decided to pursue it. So, you know, you have to give credit where credit is due. So we give this 4 out of 5 stars. Until next time, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the Legion Go tips, tricks, and mods.